welcome back once again. Tech Tips Service Call Edition. I just showed up to this one and the doors are already off, but started looking around for a return on this thing. Let me show you something cool. Yeah. So apparently the renter was trying to check it out himself, I think, and tore into it. Cut away the return so he could get to the blower and capacitor. And there's all that. I'm debating on how much I'm actually going to do with that. He's not here. There's a lady here who's not the landlord either. I'm just going to see what's going on with it, why the AC's not actually working, or see if it's not. And I'll let them discuss that return with the tenant, more than likely. So, but yeah, this is just what I got to start with. Alright, so I started it. Maybe not, but then I got to looking back there and it's not even in the track anymore. So I think they may have almost got it out, or they did get it out and didn't put it back in right. I have no idea. So I'm gonna remount that real quick back into its slot up there and then see what happens. Okay, just got the cover back on. The blower's taking off just fine. So I'm going to go give it a Y call at the thermostat and see what the heck's going on. I don't think it has one yet. Either way, the AC's not running right now. Alright, so the thermostat's calling. So I'll go out here. The outdoor unit's not running. I went ahead and just fixed the thermostat wiring there at the furnace. It looked like garbage. I was like, yeah, I might be biting my toe doing this just in case that was an actual issue, but don't think it changed much. So here's the outdoor unit. Thermostat wires kind of strung around the dirt there. That's always fun. But I'll tear it apart here and see what the heck we got going on. Alright, spider everywhere. Killed one. About 3 other ones shot out. Contactor's a little rally there. So I'm guessing it's probably wore out. I'm going to take that cover off and check. But I just heard the compressor try to start, so I'm also going to bet the cap's dead on this one too. So I'm going to check both those, kind of clean this up real quick and see what we got going on. Alright, got my meter out. And just double check that I got it dead here. No beeping, and we are dead. And that coil's pretty rusted up, this connector, so I'm going to say it's more likely bad, but we are confirmed dead. I did check each of these legs to ground too. Or the first time I didn't do that. I'd just checked across it. I had 0. I got bit because someone had bypassed, just left one of the spades in it that broke off, and the disconnect, they left it in there, and I got bit. So I always check each one to ground. But I just hooked up my meter to the capacitor on the Herm side, and of course we read 0. So the capacitor is of course dead. So I'm going to go ahead and probably get her a price to replace that and the contactor. So the landlord approved the contactor and capacitor to go ahead and be replaced. So the lady in here that called a guy, she said that she asked him about it. He said they tore it apart so they could get to the blower easier to check stuff. The landlord said that when they bought the house, it was already like that. The piece was sitting over there. So maybe there's just a little bit of confusion on what there is, or who really knows. Either way, it's been like that for a little bit, possibly, and our evaporator might be really gross. So I told her I'd get it up and running with the contactor and cap. I told her the contactor is just weak, it would work. She said go ahead and replace it. And I'm going to check the charge and see how bad it is in there on the coil. See how dirty it is. I'll probably go check it physically too. Alright, brand new 35.5 cap and new single pole contactor. Cleaned it up pretty decently. If you don't have one of these brushes, you gotta get you one. They make this really quick and easy, so and they're super helpful. Cleaning all stuff, especially on maintenances. It cleans these things up good. If they're really, really bad and I don't even want to touch it, sometimes I'll just whip out the blower and just blow across all that crap and get it out of there. So alright, it just took off, so that's a good start. Sounds a little rough though, if I'm being honest. It's the fan. I don't like something in there. That sounds like it's pumping down. Or it's pumping hard, I should say, 8.1. Yeah, I need to go get my gauges real quick. Throw them on there. Should have had them on there already. I know someone will probably say something. Should have already had the gauges on there, but I just want to make sure to at least take off real quick. So I'll go get those, and I bet we have very little refrigerant in this unit. I'm going to say that right now. So let me go check. By the way, count how many times I say in these videos. I'm trying to keep the number down. I usually suck at not doing that. Alright, so I was wrong. It does have refrigerant in it. It is R22. So we're running right there. There we go. About 40 degrees, 41. The suction. 93, 94 on the head. That compressor sounds like crap though. That thing is so loud. Guessed wrong on it. It just sounds like it has having a hard time. I mean, it might still be having a hard time. It's pulling 8 amps there at the start. RLA is 12.6. 8.7. I guess it just sounds freaking loud. But with this house, who knows? It may have struggled in the past. 52. So we're holding a 10 degree superheat. Forgot to look if it was a TXV or not. I'm gonna bet it's a TXV. Let me clean that up and I'll check it there, see what subcool is. That's also really neat too. Oh, it's not quite touching. Okay, it's not quite touching. Never mind, I was wrong. It looked like it was just sitting on there the whole time. That's awesome. Alright, let's see if this is 84. So we got a 10 degree subcool. Interesting. 10 and 10. I'll go see if we got a TXV or a fixed meter device, but I'd say we're likely going to be okay. Either way, because you got to remember, it's pulling its return from the basement, so the basement's a little bit cooler too than the upstairs. We got a window unit upstairs anyway. So either way, on charge, I'm gonna say we're probably good. This is really faded, so I can't get a whole lot off that. I was able to find some of the numbers, of course, there. So 12.2 on the compressor. like our blower motor's going out. Oh man. It is. Oh my gosh. The blower's dead. I'll be darned. It's ran this entire time too. It just got overheated. Darn. Let me just kill her then. Got that on. Just pulled the wire off. I just checked it to 15. Remember at the beginning of this, I thought that motor sounded weird. So capacitor's fine. Now I wish I would have amped it earlier. I don't really have any tags. I was looking across here. That's not the right tag. I don't know where it's at. I might have to look around for it, see if I can't find one. See what that motor's rated for, or just pull it out, one of the two. I'm gonna try to give it a spin. Yeah. Those bearings are tight. She just shot. So now they need a new motor on top of that stuff. I bet that's why they was trying to tear it apart, but I guess no one told them it comes apart from the front. Oh, cool. There's the drain. Glad that's going somewhere. The landlord just approved the blower motor. So I think that one's got the brackets that mount onto the side of it from the factory, but we have a belly bands on the van. I'm gonna see if I can get one to work. We carry rescue motors, so I'm gonna try to throw that in there and replace the cap. So I'm gonna take these two screws out up here. I'll probably take the board off, just those screws on the top and bottom, and pull it up, and I'll drag that out of there and probably take it outside. It's dusty in there. The blower wheel's dusty. It's not really dirty, but I'll take it outside and clean it when it's got the old motor on it, and try to clean that off the best I can and put the new stuff on there and throw it in here and see how it does. There we go. Let's take a look up in there, shall we? Oh yeah, heat exchangers. Oh yeah, real good. Oh yeah. Oh. All right, so I just got that sitting up there. Here's our blower wheel, and you can tell. God, I gotta spin it pretty hard just to do that. It's tight, and the motor is boiling hot. All right, we're here in the workshop. Here's our old motor. A little dirty in here at the moment. Just a couple filters really is all. Here's my rescues. You notice I'm missing, you got two blower motors, the two reds, and usually got two blues condenser fan motors, 1075 RPM and an 825, but they're freaking out of stock right now. I guess pretty sure because of COVID. Everything's just freaking nuts right now. So they're on back order. I still don't have my 825 back. I used two in one Saturday a couple weekends ago. So luckily this one here is a 1/3 horsepower blower motor. So I'm going to use my I need to check the horsepower. No, they're both 1075. Oh, 115. I always forget. It's voltage on the blowers. Duh. One's for air handlers, one's for furnaces. So use my 115. Of course, for gas furnaces, it's always 115 volts. So I'm going to use it and my bracket. Now let's see what this looks like. These little guys here, if you've never used one of these brackets before, you take this bolt off. It's got three of these, got little bushings that go on there. They go on these, so you figure out which one of these two to put it on, and you slide that in place, and you're ready to mount it on. Okay, see I got the rubber part on there. You do that first, and then you follow up a little piece. You got to take that off. Follow that up with it. Stab it on. There you go. Just like that. Alright, I guessed incorrectly on these holes. It didn't look like it was the other one, but I was wrong, so I'm going to have to move each one of these bushings up to the top one. Alright, new motor's in place. Oh, it's my caulk gun. I was like, what the crap is that? I think, what's on my phone? It's not supposed to be there. It's great. Alright, shoving these main screws back in. Got the wheel all cleaned up enough. Like I said, it didn't have much on it, just a little bit of dirt dust. I'm sure from that basement. A lot of it came from.
Forgot I need them out there. Ground wire. Right up here. There we go. I try to make that as even, the wheel, as even with this hole as possible. Look down there, try to have as much on, about the same on each side as you can. On the shaft. And just tighten her down. Give her a spin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She good go now. She good go.
I just picked a wedgie in front of a car that was sitting at this stop sign. That's fantastic. Hopefully they didn't see. I mean, it was a deep one. That's just great. So here's a real tech tip. This usually comes with those new motors. If you don't use them, especially the blower motors, always keep these. They're handy to have, especially the little nuts. You always end up using them on like condenser fan motors. I keep a little baggie here. Or you could just go buy some, you know, like a normal person, but I always just try to keep those. Alright, I've checked the rotation of it. Now the first full fire up. Good. Don't want to lose that. I'll put the door on now. I went ahead and put that ductwork back together. I'll show you. I mean, I'm not exactly proud of it, but it'll work. I mean, it's good enough compared to what it was, so I'll show you here in just a second. Put this cover on and see how we do. Alright, I got the box mounted back on here. 16 by 25 inch filter on there. So thank goodness for aluminum tape. I don't like it, but it is what it is at this point. It's a rental property, so I just wanted to get it so it would work and operate properly and pull like it's supposed to. Alright, and the last piece of business is the drain. That just goes there. I'm going to try to run it to that drain over there in the corner and just hope it's okay. I don't see anything that, they said it's fine, so I don't see any issue with it, so that's my last job. Alright, I just cut this T in real quick, and I ran that pipe down across there to that drain. But I think it's about all the pipe I had left. Let me go get more. I'm just gonna flush this guy. There she rolls. Good. And it was green because I was having water. And I'll usually throw one of these tablets. Little Pro Treat. I think that was a green one. I gotta go refill this. This is smaller, so I just pour them into there from the other big one. there. You really don't need a trap on this. At least I don't think so. It's a debate. You don't really need a trap on it in this case, but oh well, it's there. So I think that's going to be it though. I'm going to go check our charge once again. Oh, obviously we got a fixed device, so. All right, this has been fun. So let's just go out there, double check our charge, and then we'll start wrapping this thing up. So we are wrapping this one up finally. My caps still have the O-rings in them. I showed you on that last video. Let's see how it looks. I think O-ring is still in there. That's good. Doing a final check on superheat. 42. So my superheat is 0. And that's with that return hooked up. Remember earlier I didn't have that return completely hooked up. So I kind of suspected that we would have some ductwork issues. So I might go revisit that real quick. I got the fan speed on medium low. It's a 3/4 horse motor. Or it's 1/5 to 3/4 horse. So I got it on medium low right now. I'm gonna go see if I can bump it up, if that will help any. May or may not. That evaporator might be funky, and who knows, that return might be. It's an old house, so it's really, who knows. I can go do a static pressure check off if I want to, but I don't know how much time she wants me to spend on it still, so I might bump that fan speed up and check it and just see where we're at and just kind of go from there. Alright, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's a 5470. So there was a 3rd horse, cool. It can be blue or yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and go put that blue wire on. It's medium high. I'll put it on and see if it'll space our superheat up a little bit. I doubt it, but we'll see if it does anything. All right, I'm back in the van once again. We are all finished up with this one. I ended up putting the medium high for the cooling speed tab. Put medium low, the yellow, on the heat. I checked the superheat after that, and it was about 2 degrees. My target is closer to 5 to 7 after I checked it, so it's low. I did check the evaporator coil, and it was actually clean, surprisingly, because from what everybody said. So what I figured out, by the way, I didn't say this. So when she bought the house, it was like that. The ductwork was pulled off. And then once the blower started kind of acting up, the tenant, who's a relative apparently, he tore that ductwork back off because they put it on. Apparently he put it on. When it started acting up, he tore it back off to try to check stuff, and then couldn't get it, so they called us to come out there and check it. So then I put it back together once I figured out everything. So it's all back together. 2 to 3 degree superheat, target 5 to 7. It's okay. I'm running a 42 degree saturation with a 74 degree indoor temp. That's not too bad. I'm not really worried about it. So if it has trouble, we'll come back, of course. More than likely looking at some duct issue. They have a little bit of a lack of return in general, which is more than likely why we had closer to 10 degrees superheat with that off of there. I put a filter behind it, so it's just pulling through a filter. It's more than likely why we had 10 degree superheat without that compared to when I put it on. So they might have a little bit of a restriction in the ductwork, but that's another one of those, it is what it is. If it causes them a problem, they can call us. The unit's kind of in rough shape. That outdoor unit sounds loud. The compressor is pretty loud at it, so it's pulling fine amperage wise, but I don't know how if it's gonna last really well. So we'll see. They'll call if they have problems with it. Hey, a couple quick things to note real quick. I just noticed earlier when I was doing editing, one, when I was running the furnace the first time when I was running the blower, I did have a filter butted up against the hole in the backside of the furnace to put a little bit more of a pull in the motor and block anything from getting in there. So if you're wondering, hey, it's because you didn't have any kind of return there, that's what took it out. Now the motor was it was already going out anyway. When I finally talked to the guy, he said the motor was doing that. It would run for a while and then die. So that's why he tore it all apart. He's going to try to mess with it. He didn't realize you could pull it from the front. So that was the issue. But when I was running it, I did have a filter up there though, so it would put a little bit more of a pull. And the second is after I swapped it to medium high, I did check my delta T and it was running about 19. And for that point I needed about 18, so I'm in the good there. So that was the two things I wanted to make a note of real quick. Thank you guys. If you watched this entire video, please like and subscribe. I do these occasionally. I think this is the second service call edition I've done. Let me know if you like it, please. Hope you guys are staying cool this summer. We're almost getting ready to head into winter, so we're ready to start up all the heating stuff, and I'll hopefully have some videos of that too. Until then, you guys take it easy, and we'll see you next time.